Hi there, folks. This is Sean Broderick for the Oxford Club, and I'm here in Carlsbad, California, and I'm speaking to Amir Adnani. He's the founder and chairman of Brazil Resources. Who are they, do you ask? Well, you should ask, because any kind of gold miner that's seen its price go up, is it like 160% since the start of the year, or something like that?
We started the year in Canadian dollars at around 45 cents a share, and we're at about $1 right now. It's been higher than that. It's pulled back a bit, but anyways, you get the point.
He has that 9.6 million ounces of gold. They have uranium too, many irons in the fire. They have a lot going on. This is a company you should definitely be aware of. Amir, could you speak to my subscribers and just give them the overview of the company and also what you plan to do this year?
In the resource business, as you can appreciate, Sean, there's different business models. You have the single asset story where a company buys a project and just de-risks it and moves it forward. You have production stories. You have the prospect generators. With BRI, you have a business model that really needs the cycle to be a down cycle. You know, this pain that we talk about that the resource sector has gone through, in our mind, is the best time for a business that focuses on acquiring ounces, resources in the ground for less than what it costs to basically go drill and do exploration and find it today. So we're not interested in exploration risk. We're not interested to just go and do big, expensive drilling campaigns. We want to do deals where we find a quality project that has already been drilled out, where you have a 43-101 resource, and we're acquiring it. In most cases, we've done our acquisitions for shares, and we're building a portfolio. We're in the U.S., in Alaska, we're in Brazil, and when you look at our acquisitions, for example, last summer, we acquired a project called Whistler that you know well about that project. There was $35 million of work just in drilling done on that project. We acquired it for $1.6 million. On a per ounce basis, it worked out to like 28 cents an ounce on the ground.
Right.
So that's an example.
Project. Yeah. It's an actual copper gold district. That's what you guys got.
Exactly, and it's a district in the sense of the size of the project, and the previous work done has identified multiple gold, copper, porphyry targets or deposits on this. We've only come out with one resource estimate so far on this based on some drilling in that one area called Whistler. There are other areas where we're modeling the drilling data that we bought, and we expect hopefully to have more resource reports that we can come out with showing what this district is. That, you know, again, like you said, it's one thing to say I own one copper gold porphyry deposit. It's another thing to say we own a district in a very stable mining jurisdiction on U.S. soil that has multiple copper gold porphyry targets. And again, the fact that you could buy it at this low entry price relative to all the work that has been done and not take on exploration risk.
Right. So all that plus uranium too. Why don't we address that a little bit?
All that and uranium too. The uranium was a bit of a fluke, and sometimes you got to get lucky, I guess.
Yeah.
But as you know from the other company that I'm the CEO of, Uranium Energy, I know a thing or two about the uranium business. And we acquired a company called Brazilian Gold Corp back in 2013 because we really liked its gold assets in Brazil.
Right.
That company from back in 2005, where it had acquired one of the biggest land packages in Western Athabasca Basin, had a uranium project that we all thought nothing of at the time. Well, little did we know, about a couple of months after our acquisition, one of the best drill results ever came out from one of our neighboring properties, a company called Fission. And subsequent to that, there's been more discoveries, more money raised for discoveries being made in Western Athabasca Basin. We're sitting there with Areva as our partner. They own 25% of this property. We own 75. $10 million has already gone into the project by previous owners. We just had some really exciting geophysics results that came out last week that the market is starting to slowly grasp the significance of this. And our goal is to ultimately spin this out into a new company because it doesn't make sense to commingle the uranium project with the gold assets.
Right, yeah.
So our shareholders could benefit to get that pure play exposure on the uranium while maintaining the optionality that we're building with these strong gold deposits that we're acquiring.
So what do you think the big landmarks will be for you, say, over the next 12 months? What should people look for in the news about Brazil Resources?
So in cases where we've acquired a large property with a lot of historic drill data or previous drill data, like Whistler, you can expect to see us spend the money on qualified independent engineers that we bring in to model this and help us produce new resource reports without going out there and doing new drilling and new development. So this is the benefit of buying these big projects with a lot of historic work. So we expect to have that kind of news flow. We expect at some point over the course of this year to hopefully find a way to monetize the uranium project, whether it's a spin out or whether it's some kind of consolidation, maybe with Areva. We'll see, but we're working on that. And most importantly, we're working on more acquisitions. The gold price looks better today than it did late last year. It's a recovery, but it's not a bull market yet. Bull market, we'll know when it's here, and it'll be $1,500 gold and higher. So the point is, we still think there's a great window right now for us to make more acquisitions for less than what it would cost us to drill those ounces. We want to buy 43-101 ounces in the ground in quality jurisdictions. That will continue to be part of our story this year, and frankly, until that window closes, and then you got a bull market and everything is appreciating in value. At that point, we do what Silver Standard did. We did what Lumina Copper did. These companies bought assets during the downturn. And in the uptrend, you either sell these assets or you develop them. You take them further and put them into production.
All right. So this is probably one of the best gold companies you haven't heard of.
It's the only gold company with the uranium optionality.
Right.
It's a very rare combination of gold and uranium.
But having 9.6 million ounces just to start with, I mean, there's so much more at Whistler that can't even be grasped right now. We've seen a run in gold and in gold miners, developers, explorers so far, but it's nothing compared to what we could see going forward. We had a 4.5-year-long bear market, and so that makes companies like this all the more exciting because they actually did the smart thing. They used that time of cheap prices to just pick up assets on the cheap, and so when prices go higher, I think your company could actually do extremely well.
I appreciate you saying that, but I just want to remind you that it was, I think, sometime in 2011, right after we had IPO'd Brazil Resources, that I sat down with you at the Vancouver Cambridge conference, or one of those conferences. It was 2011. We were just starting out, and so I appreciate that you've been following this for 5 years now, and you've seen us in 5 years go from basically a single property to the portfolio that we have that you described that we have today. So you've seen the execution that we've had with this story, and that's obviously something that is, it's one thing to say here's the strategy, but for you, having witnessed 5 years of the execution of the strategy, is something that makes things more meaningful.
Well, thanks. You folks stay tuned. I'll have a lot more for you. Thank you very much for speaking to my subscribers, Amir.
Thanks, Sean.
And stay tuned. There's a lot more coming.